All right. So welcome everybody to Midweek with Max. Glad everybody's here. As usual, we are glad to have two of our partners up on stage with us. This is something that we've done every Midweek with Max since we went mainnet on March 12th is a date that is absolutely seared into our brains. And we have two representatives here, one from Bima and one from One Delta. So let's start with the former. From Bima, we have Phoenix Master.
Just call me Sid, dude. I know I should change my name, but yeah, I'm Sid.
I don't know what name you want to go by here, but Phoenix Master.
No, I'm not. I'm Sid. Yeah, no worries. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, and as we always want to start, 15. You got 5 minutes to make your pitch to the Amigos and Amigas. So why don't you introduce them to Bima? What are they all about?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for having me here. Hi guys, I'm Sid. I'm the founder of Bima. I've been in Bitcoin since 2018. My peers wanted to buy it. I wanted to build on it, but you really couldn't do that back then. And it's a really good paradigm shift that's been happening over the past few years. I have experience in market making, worked on Wall Street, worked under Tim Draper. That was really sort of where I got majority of my orange pilling from. So a lot of you guys, might know he's the guy that bought 30,000 Bitcoin from the Silk Road auction, at the U.S. Marshall auction. He wanted to buy 3,000 Bitcoin, but he fat fingered it and accidentally clicked another zero. So he got 30,000 back in 2012. So that's worth $3 billion worth today. He was a really great mentor and great person to learn from.
True story.
Yeah, it's a true story. It's a funny story as well. But
Wow.
I ended up making a fund with Tim. They called the Draper Roundtable. That got merged into Draper Associates. You guys might be seeing some stuff about like the people who are trying to bring the woolly mammoth back. They brought back the dire wolves, colossal. Yeah, we were investors in every single round. So Ben Lamb and team are doing some amazing stuff. But I was mostly on the digital asset side. So we invested in deals in the Bitcoin digital assets side of things. After that fund got merged in, Bima was really my next thing. I was like, what do I do next? It's a way for me to borrow, against Bitcoin, and it's awesome. I really do enjoy the entire sort of paradigm behind it, because I was orange pilled, and I started Bima. It was born in Vegas, so if you guys are going to Bitcoin Vegas, I'll see you there. I was hanging out with Tim for an offsite, and we were both sitting at an airport to basically talk about Bitcoin, and Bima was kind of born in that conversation. So Bima is a way for you to basically easily able to borrow against your Bitcoin. It's a CDP, but then you'd also be able to deploy it through strategies. We're super happy to be, on Hemi, and be working very closely with the Hemi team and all their ecosystem partners to basically enable people to cheaply borrow against their Bitcoin and use it in DeFi primitives on Hemi.
And I said all that brilliant stuff while on mute.
I know. I was going to ask if you're muted.
Yeah. So tell me. Awkward silence ensues. So tell us how you came across Hemi, how you came to join the community of Amigos and Hemi.
Yeah, I mean, of course, one of the people that works for us, Eric, he told me that there's this chain that's, doing some cool stuff. We got connected to the Layer Bank team and hung out with Taylor a few times, and I was like, this is bullish, I'm bullish. I mean, I met a majority of the, Hemi team, and I really like what you guys are doing. I think the way you're approaching things is really astute, and I think it's like as retail oriented and focused, you guys are set up to combat real big institutions with your team. So I love the team so much, and also, you guys are killing it with liquidity. So I think it's, if it's a stablecoin protocol, you want to be able to find a way to have people borrow against liquidity really easily, especially volatile liquidity as we're seeing right now. The quick story is just when we knew a family office in Argentina that was a millionaire 3 times over. Each and every single time they lost their millionaire status because of the volatility. And they wanted Bitcoin as their coup de grace. They liked the Draper thesis, but they didn't like the downside risk. So this is a product with Bima that enables you to get the best of both worlds. You get to maintain the upside of a long-term asset with Bitcoin, and you get to make short-term liquidity today to be able to use stables in much more velocity-based transactions, right? A lot of these other Bitcoin chains are one-stop chains. You mint your Bitcoin, you get your yield. Done. You stake your Bitcoin, you get your yield. But I think that's really where the product becomes super important. Someone bought 10,000. Someone bought a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin over a decade ago, and I'm sure he's kicking himself in the ass, thinking that he lost $1 billion, just to buy a pizza. And that's exactly what a lot of people with Bitcoin kind of see, projects like Hemi, me, majority of, Bima, and the entire sort of ecosystem for BTC holders is like, they're not seeing us as DeFi projects that can help them earn yield. They're saying, okay, how much money can I lose with these guys? They think of us all as really pizza. So that's really something that we're trying to change. It's a way for people to be able to earn more yield on your Bitcoin, and it'll take time. So I'm very happy that things will grow in this manner and fashion. So yeah, just definitely wanted to say that this is how I got connected, and we really are super bullish on Hemi and the Hemigos.
And I too go wherever Taylor tells me to go. He commands me, he guides me, and forever I must obey.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the same for all of us, I guess. that's Taylor, man.
Yeah. And so, all right, let's say at the top of the hour, everybody hangs up from this call. What do you most want all the Amigos and Amigas to do as soon as they get off this call?
Yeah, I think what I would love for everyone to do is please follow us at Bima BTC. Please, definitely would love for you guys to join our Discord as well. We don't have as intense, like you guys really, you gatekeep a lot of shit in this. Like I had to go like 7 verification hoops just to get in. And I was like, oh shit, it really is you got like an iron gate behind this stuff. But please join our Discord. We'll be actually hosting a UEFA Champions League watch party later today to watch Real Madrid versus Arsenal. Wow. I'm not a fan of either.
Oh, excellent!
But I do it just to react because anything it's a hate watch for me. So if you are a football fan, European soccer fan, whatever you want to call it, feel free to join our Discord and hang out.
All right, thank you, and you're of course welcome to stay, especially given all the effort that you took to get in here. But if you have to leave, if you're busy, nobody's going to be staring daggers at you. But you're welcome to hang out with us, of course. Next, One Delta.
I want to say that out loud.
Botafogo till I die, let me tell you. All right. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Akhtar?
Achim, Akhtar is the correct name.
Okay, excellent. So we have here a representative from One Delta. One Delta. So tell us what you're up to, and introduce yourself to the community here.
All right, yeah, thanks for having me. So I myself actually have a background in finance, and One Delta originated from the fact that over time, as actually I think a lot of people in DeFi at least, I discovered the great benefits of DeFi in general. And that led me to co-found One Delta, which originally is a protocol that allows margin trading based on existing liquidity on chain, which means we're not doing something like standard perps. We're more like accessing liquidity across lending protocols across the board, and combine this with DEX swaps to allow users to do cross-margin trading on any sort of lender that one could imagine. And over time, we expanded our offering. We also went on to offering spot swaps, our custom trade aggregation, and also focus on a highly improved user experience that specifically focuses on abstracting away the user hassles whenever they want to execute any sort of operation. Everyone knows the issue with MetaMask trying to switch chains, and then it fails on you. It loads forever in MetaMask, and all of those kind of things. is something that we're trying to work around and optimize around to build the next generation of decentralized exchange aggregator, or more like a decentralized exchange meta aggregator that not only goes beyond aggregating the DEXs, but also lending liquidity. And the way how we got to know Hemi is that I think I'm actually I'm a replacement for Kevin. He was supposed to, my co-founder was supposed to speak here, but on short notice I jumped in. But as far as I can recall, he met some of your guys on ETH Denver, and then we got into closer contact, and then we decided to launch our DEX aggregator on Hemi. And what I generally like about Hemi is that it's just an enhanced experience for holders of Bitcoin to deposit to Hemi without any excessive fees. I've seen lots of additional or other chains that kind of also you can deposit Bitcoin or something, but when you just look at those fees that you have in many cases, it's just at this stage it's just mind-boggling to assume that you would have lots of deposits early on in some of those, and that also shows. And Hemi really shows with good adoption on that department, and also, I mean, free tunnel and quick integrations on that, and lifted and elevated the TVL very nicely. So yeah, great to be on Hemi, and also we hope to expand our offering within Hemi. While we currently only have the DEX aggregation, lending integrations are lined up and released very soon. There's also generally, if anyone wants to trade LSTs, it's you'll most likely get the best rates on our app. I think also you can buy a bunch of the LSTs, or like even I think Merlin BTC you get at an 8% discount currently on Hemi. So take the offer as long as it lasts.
Awesome. And so I think you might have answered my next question, same thing that I asked Sid. Top of the hour, everybody hangs up. What do you most want them to do?
Yeah, just follow our socials, and I think also what we use our app. You can use it for bridging, for swaps, and like if you want to do any swaps, give it a try. You get like really, really good swap rates. The user experience is, we use all cutting edge tools like Permit2 and all of those other things that abbreviate use or that improve the UX so that you get your swaps done with minimal effort. And also, I think we're one of the few aggregators that also include like good bridging via Stargate to Hemi. So if you don't know how you get your assets to Hemi, Stargate is the solution. We have a good integration there, and rather quick to do. So if you have some assets laying around on EVMs, go ahead, give it a try. It's really worth it.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us. Again, same invitation. You're welcome to hang out with us. If you have to leave, we understand. But big thanks to Bima, big thanks to One Delta for joining us at the top. And let me kick it over to Rick.
Well, thank you, sir. All right. Well, actually, I mean, not to be that guy, but I'm going to pass it right back to you, and also Max for your your initial updates before we move on. So, Tag, you're it.
Max first.
Sorry, I was trying to find the unmute button. It seems to be different every week. Yeah, so hey everyone, welcome to another Midweek with Max. We've, on the engineering side, been heavily focused on some post-mainnet support stuff, getting partners who want to run nodes up and running with different configurations. I mentioned last week, we're working on stuff to make it easier for people to run nodes. So if you go to, I'll post the link here, if there's anyone who is interested in running a node, we've done a lot of updates over the last week and put out a bunch of documentation on GitHub. So anyone who wants to try running a node, it's currently supported and tested on Ubuntu 24.04. You're more than welcome to try it on other systems, but that's what we've been testing and validating with. And you can run all the different configurations. So there's different Docker profiles, depending on whether you want to run the full Ethereum and Bitcoin nodes, or you just want to run a Hemi node in sort of a minimal fashion. You can do a full sync from scratch or a snap sync. If you do a full sync from scratch, you need access to a fully archived Ethereum DA provider, which can, there's options for that, like going to QuickNode and paying for an account. But if you don't want to do that, you can do a snap sync. So we got all that up and documented. So anyone who does want to run a Hemi node and test it out for themselves, that is now available. I've also been working on a bunch of stuff for the support for the Ethereum Pectra upgrade, which is scheduled now for May 7th. And so we'll be having a update to Hemi mainnet basically to get feature parity with the EVM improvements that have been made. There's some stuff with account abstraction, and the Pectra upgrade on the Ethereum side does also double the amount of blobs per Ethereum block, basically. So it should further reduce DA costs, which will have a small effect on Hemi fees. Right now, we're still below full DA utilization on Ethereum, but that's nice for future, lower fees as Ethereum DA continues to get more crowded by other L2s. And so that's a nice development to see on the Ethereum side that will benefit Hemi in the longer run. And then we're also starting to spin up some of the work on Hemi ZK provability. And so that's one of the prerequisites for the BitVM system that we'll be eventually building. So that is the high level update from my side.
All right, and then I'll jump in from the marketing front. Right now we are heavily focused on conference season. We're looking at, of course, Bitcoin 2025. That's probably where we're going to spend a lot more of our attention, but also Token 2049 in Dubai, and then we've got Consensus in Toronto, and Permissionless at the end of all that in Brooklyn, New York. So looking at all the different sponsorship opportunities that are open to us, but I will say that where we've had the most of our success is when we tend to do highly curated side events, right? And in a very crowded market for same, we've actually been punching far above our weight. If you look at lists like Crypto Nomads and that sort of thing, you find that for the last few big conferences since last fall, and I'm talking about DevCon in Bangkok, I'm talking about Token 2049 in Singapore, ETH Denver, there have been no fewer than, I kid you not, 900 to 950 side events. And it's actually a really crazy scene. But we found that people have been RSVPing to a ton of events, but attending ours. And that's really been great. And we've been able to do it, I think, in a very, very cost-effective way. We saw one project throw what must have been a high six-figure sum worth of an event, and I still don't know what it did for them. So we like to joke, right, that we're about LSTs, not RSVPs. But even on that basis, we've been punching above our weight and doing really well. So we're exploring in-conference opportunities and official opportunities, but also recognizing that from a business development perspective, we tend to be doing very well on the side event scene. And I think what our One Delta representative said today was interesting. He said, "Yeah, we met you guys at ETH Denver." It's like, okay, so clearly the approach is working. You can look forward to another Reflexivity research report sometime in the next week or so. So definitely look forward to that. We're dotting I's and crossing T's on that one. And we've got Jeff scheduled for a couple of media interviews, so stay tuned for those. But what we're also finding too is even during the rather dramatic retrenching that Bitcoin did earlier this week, people are a lot more open right now to asking very serious questions about Bitcoin DeFi and that sort of thing, and how we make Bitcoin more productive. And actually, I'm working on some stuff around this. So if anybody has any strong spreadsheet skills and modeling skills, for that kind of thing, I'd love to talk to you, because I'm working out a few models right now in terms of what could happen on the Bitcoin DeFi front when things recover, right? So if anybody has mad Excel skills, mad spreadsheet skills, please raise your hand. But with that, yeah, let's go to the Q&A. Rick, kick it off.
All right. Well, shockingly, we don't have like a ton of questions right now, but that's cool. Because we got a bunch of other stuff we can cover as well. Actually, before questions, do we want to turn things over to Mr. Greenwood for his announcement? How does everyone feel about that? John?
Sure. Yeah. Just wanted to let everyone
give John the mic.
Awesome. Yeah. So once again, thanks for the partners that showed up. You guys are great. Have had a long-standing relationship with Kevin from One Delta, so very happy to have you guys on here as well. So it's a great day as always. With my primary announcement here, I know I've been talking about it for a little while, but I did push the Deimos verification task, 1 of 2, this morning, so users can now verify authenticity with Deimos currently, and that will count towards your first verification. There is a points reward for that, and due to the fact that people sometimes have errors or would like to do it more than once to be sure, we're allowing you to do that up to twice, during this epoch. So that task has now been added. It is tracking. The points for it will not be available till the end of kind of this epoch, so it should be about 7 to 10 days from now at most. The logic for that is just because we're going to snapshot that to ensure that all users are completed at one time. And yeah, so that kind of takes care of that, because I know there was a lot of questions about, okay, I've already verified, does it count? When is this happening? It's happening now, and you can verify from this point forward. We'll let you know when it's going to end, as well as then subsequently, after a couple of days, when period 2 begins. There is some leniency here in the sense of, how many times verified over what period of time, and I will communicate more about that. But in general, you need to verify twice between now and the end of this season. So since we don't know the exact date on this, we will continue to communicate. But this will be the first of twice. If there's any additional questions, feel free to ask while we're here, so I can make some clarifications. But just wanted to bring that to you guys, because I know that's been a common question recently, and it is now delivered. Thank you, Rick, for the opportunity.
And so just to clarify on that, if users already did a verification up until this point, they need to do a new verification basically now, and that counts as their first verification, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So there's a little bit of leeway here in the sense that it goes by block time. So if you did it basically within the past 2.5 hours from 8 a.m. CST onwards, you're good. Otherwise, if it was done before that, then it would not count as your first verification. So yes, thank you, Max, for that follow up. But yes, it would only be counted within the past 2.5 hours or moving forward. So, if you have not done a verification previously, or it has not been basically within the past couple of hours, now would be a good time to do it to get that over and done with. Moving forward, like I said, you can do it up to twice if you're not sure that you've done something properly or whatever. I don't see anyone really needing to do that, but by all means. And otherwise, we will be communicating when that period's ending, as well as when the new period begins. So thank you.
All right, awesome. Thanks for the clarification on that.
Sounds good. Yeah, if I can get John and Max to help me put out a formal announcement about that today, that would be amazing. So that way we just have it in writing, and everyone can refer to that as well in the event some folks weren't here too. All right, so I guess we can skip the Deimos questions because that was just covered. So mainnet was launched almost 4 weeks ago. when can we expect to see TGE and tokenomics information?
So high level, I'm sure everyone's familiar with the current market trends, and so that we'll see how it things look over the next couple weeks. But that is something we're tracking closely, and is probably the main thing at this point that affects any sort of TGE date. So we'll definitely share something when things are actually finalized. As I've said in the past, we don't want to proactively share stuff too early that we're not confident in and create confusion. And so, we don't want to share anything on that front until we do really get a date nailed down. We're confident in it. All the pieces are going to line up between where the market is, listings, all of that. And so it is still in progress. Hopefully more info on that in the relatively near future. But I'd say probably I would not expect any formal announcement at least for 2 weeks while we see how the current market situation works out. That's not a guarantee, but I think that's kind of the current sentiment just with everything else going on. So I'd say probably nothing formal for at least 2 weeks or so. We do definitely want to get to TGE as soon as everyone else does. Obviously, we're excited to get that out and in the hands of people and check that box so we can move on to a bunch of other awesome post TGE stuff. But we also want to be smart and make sure we time things correctly and it's a successful launch instead of rushing it out the door in bad market conditions or when all the pieces aren't lined up. So hopefully very soon. We're definitely all aligned on sooner rather than later, but we do have to be realistic with where things are in current market conditions.
Right. You had previously announced a roadmap being released in March. Where can we find this roadmap?
So we still haven't put out an updated roadmap. There is a sort of high-level roadmap that's on the Hemi.xyz site if you scroll down to like the 4th section. And so all those items are still the ones that are on the roadmap and broken up into, right now it's a little wavy: today, tomorrow, future. So the next version of the roadmap will have actual, target times associated with that. Just kind of giving it informally. The big items, obviously, we already talked about TGE, and that's still up in the air, but obviously, soon. For other items, looking more at the technical roadmap, we are looking to launch the BitVM design and decentralized sequencer in Q3 is the current target. Bidirectional tunnels will come a bit after BitVM. That's probably a Q4 item. And then Chain Builder will probably be early 2025. And then HVM HBK meta protocol support. We'll see where that lands. It's probably taking a backseat to some of the bigger items like BitVM and decentralized sequencer that are more valuable to the project in the short term. So that may be end of 2024, it may be early or even mid 2025. And then all the Hemi shared sequencing and DA stuff in support of kind of Chain Builder 2.0, as I'd call it, would probably be late 2025. So that's kind of the high-level dates we're working with internally. So we'll be posting something hopefully relatively soon that gives that in a more formalized and easy to track way. But that's the update on the current roadmap thinking in the interim until we do get something more formal beyond just the today, tomorrow, future stuff we have on the website.
Solid. Thank you, sir. When can we see the Hemi hatchlings NFTs on mainnet?
That should be soon. I'm not actually. I think that's one of the things that's just been a lower priority item, but hopefully soon. That is a good reminder. We'll definitely have an update on that next week with an actual time.
All right, awesome. When will POP tokens become, and that's POP with 2 P's, tokens become actual tokens?
@/around TGE.
Right. So I am going to summarize a few questions we have about VBK. So let's group those just because there are some overlaps and similar. So let's say, are there any plans for VBK, or is the focus solely on Hemi?
No plans at this time. Everything's purely 100% in on Hemi. We will have an announcement hopefully relatively soon. Obviously, that's slightly affected by TGE timing, but relatively soon on what's basically being done for the Veriblock project in that transition. But at the moment, 100% focus on Hemi, nothing on the VBK roadmap side.
All right, thank you. I'm not sure who this question is technically directed towards, but we found Hemi on the Kaido leaderboard. Can we yap about Hemi on Kaido?
That's probably a question for Greenwood.
Yeah, Ryan Charleston would definitely be the best, but I will say that you most certainly can yap about Hemi on Kaido. The outcome of that is to be determined, primarily because Kaido is kind of doing their own rewards. We also may do something with it as we're looking into that currently, although it really depends on timelining. But yeah, to answer the question directly, you most certainly can yap about Hemi on Kaido, and it would be at a great benefit to us. So we would appreciate that.
Sorry about that. I had two things to mute and I couldn't find either. Oh, Ryan Charleston's here. Ryan, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, so I mean, we don't have a dedicated. We're not like paying for like a dedicated kind of pre-TG leaderboard, but we will show up in those mindshare charts if the community on X is yapping about us. So if you are if you have an account with Kaido, then obviously you can earn. I believe you can earn yaps and everything like that. So yeah, we're also going to be doing something on Cookie 3 as well. So look for that coming.
Awesome. All right. Miracle, I see your question, and I promise you we will cover that in the community section at the end of the AMA. There, we have some other info regarding that as well. We just got to get through some more questions while we have Max. When will testnet pop points be visible on the dashboard? It seems like for weeks you've said by the end of the week, but we can't see them there still.
Yeah, very soon. Apologies on that. There's been a bunch of other important stuff for like partner onboarding and whatnot that's taken priority over that. Hopefully very soon. We do have internally as of this morning what we think are finalized numbers, but we do still have to do a final audit on that and make sure everything looks correct. There were some complexities with, I may have mentioned this last week, so this may be a repeat, but some complexities with the way Absinthe was tracking different ways that accounts were linked. And so there were some things where the primary key didn't really make sense, or there was a UID in some cases that was different from a primary address that was linked. So we had to do some standardization and make sure that things were and we were actually assigning points to the right address. So I think we got that figured out. We're going to be doing a final look through, ideally today, through the stats I generated this morning, and we should have those up relatively soon. That will also include an update to the testnet pop stats dashboard. So instead of being able to go there and search by public key and see that individual public key's performance, you'll be able to search by Ethereum address and see, as long as that Ethereum address was a primary address in Absinthe, you'll be able to see the cumulative pop stats from that address and all the addresses that in our backend we have associated with that primary address. So that should give some more visibility as well if you're trying to figure out where the actual final points number you get in Absinthe came from. If you put your primary address into the testnet stats, once we do that final update, then you'll be able to see what all the pop activity we basically associated with your primary address based on your linked secondaries. So should have that up soon. There were some complexities and bumps in the road there, but I think we've got that resolved. So just have to do a final audit.
All right, thank you. Oh, okay. I believe we've covered this. I'm gonna ask regardless, and please forgive me if we have gone through this. When will mainnet points start to show all the details on the points website? It's been more than a month since mainnet release, and we still can't find our points. If there's a fundamental problem that's not been solved, and the team is focusing on this, please let us know. It's just causing concern within the community.
Yeah, absolutely. As I kind of outlined last week, and I'll go over this again. So, points right now, users can see in real time staking points. The LP points, as well as the VUSD points, there is a technical kind of requirement on the back end. Because there's so many pairs as well as the individual LP tranches that are available, so 0.01, 0.3, 1%, there's a total of 36 possibilities on 4 different dexes. So inevitably what ends up happening, there's a lot of data to track, as well as some of the stuff, some of the pools don't necessarily always have positions within them. So some of them have not been created by users, or users are not in them. Because of this, it creates a situation where it doesn't track in the same way that other, ERC20 balance type transactions would track. So there was some technical complexity added on top of that. The really, to sum it up, is just the way that dexes, the 4 that we have, kind of track LP positions internally is vastly different. We did have this completed a couple weeks back, approximately 10 days after mainnet had began, and there was an issue found where, in some cases, as an LP position was increased, the LP token that kind of gave record of that user position, it was rebasing, for lack of a better word, and changing in real time. Therefore, the points could not be deduced in the same way for all dexes. Have been working with Absinthe on that. They have got a extremely good model that we've been able to put into place that completely negates all of those complexities, just being back tested at the moment, and it will be live very soon. Please keep in mind that with a third party, I'm not in full control of their time. At the same time, it is the number one thing to bring to the table from their end. So working very, very diligently with them, and I feel pretty confident stating that by this time next week, you should have the display of all LP points. So, I hope that gives you a pretty solid answer. And at the same time, I really want to highlight that although, there is this technical complexity and everything else, apologies on not, for any issues with users not being able to see their points, or they're creating any issues there. That's not the intention. It's really just making sure that we do show them to you in a way that's most clear and transparent, so that there's no issues with a certain subset of users. So that was my decision to pull that, instead of having approximately 15% of users not be able to see their points only. So it was kind of a either take it all or have an issue with a certain subset. So that was the decision, and definitely working on that to have it up ASAP. If anyone has any additional feedback on that, feel free to let me know, but I will keep you guys updated as additional information comes in.
Thank you, sir. This is turning into the good news edition of Midweek with Max. All right. Will it be possible to link several addresses on Absinthe, as was the case during testnet?
So for the mainnet version of Absinthe at this exact time, it doesn't have the ability to add multiple addresses, as inevitably there's kind of some complications in regards to Wallet Connect functionality on this version of it. I've talked to their team, and with this, what we're currently using is their V2 product. For testnet, we were using V1. Some changes have been made to Flow, which makes it actually much better for UX overall. At the same time, that's one of the features that was problematic. I remember some users during testnet having an issue with Wallet Connect. That's being worked on, and once it is rolled out, that's something that a user could add a secondary wallet to. As of right now, that's not something that can be done, but by all means, you can actually create a second dashboard as well, if you'd like to, in order to kind of see any points related. And then as soon as that becomes available, you'll be able to connect them. During mainnet, there's no requirement to add socials or anything else. So basically, you could, if you have 3 wallets, I have 2 at the moment. I track both of them individually, and as soon as that functionality goes live, you'll be able to connect to both of them seamlessly, similar to how it was during testnet, only without any of the UX flaws that we had seen. So that also is something else that will be out momentarily. It's being worked on in parallel. Absinthe is kind of cranking out upgrades to their primary product at the same time that we're working on things like the LP points. So I expect to see both of those done very soon. It's harder for me to kind of give a timeline on that feature set, as it's a product that Absinthe is in control of. At the same time, I expect it to be relatively soon. So when we get back to you guys, actually, I'll make a follow-up announcement on timeline for that within the next couple of hours.
So incredible news. Thank you, sir. All right. Will there be mainnet incentives in season 2, 3, and beyond?
Yeah, so the points program as it stands at the moment is, a multi-season approach. We had season 0, or testnet season, I guess, is the easier way to put that. Right now, we have mainnet season 1. There will be additional seasons as of right now, and there will be some sort of points/rewards allocated for this. That's what we have scoped since the beginning, and it's something that we're actively looking at as time goes on. So as of right now, yes, there will be additional seasons and rewards for those seasons. Will it look the same or function the same? That's to be determined. And I guess as we move towards TGE and surpass TGE at some time in the future, this could all change ever so slightly. But yes, as of right now, there will be additional seasons, and users will be able to interact in a similar way with ecosystem projects and protocols as they are now.
All right. Wow, I only have one more question. That's crazy. Okay. After TGE, how will pop mining payouts change? Can you describe how things from pop mining will be different?
Yeah, for sure. So, as we've covered before, pre-TGE, since there is no token, the protocol doesn't have a token to distribute. So, between now and TGE, the pop payouts are being done through this kind of a placeholder token called the pop points token. I think the community's called it pop POPP. And then post TGE, the protocol will transition into directly paying out tokens. So sort of like on Ethereum, if you're a sequencer, you get ETH rewards from the protocol. Same mechanic will be there for pop mining. So it'll just be tokens directly from the protocol instead of a pop points placeholder. And also the algorithm for how those the reward amounts are calculated will be different. We're actually going to introduce the new algorithm, or the final algorithm that will be used in mainnet post TG. We're going to introduce that pre TGE and have that apply to the pop points. So that'll be we'll announce obviously ahead of time so people can understand it and decide whether they want to keep their mainnet pop miners running or not, or change how they're running or whatever. But right now, the algorithm is just 100 tokens per keystone getting distributed amongst anyone who did a pop transaction of that keystone. So for example, if the protocol is rewarding for keystone 100 and there were 7 different pop transactions for that got into Bitcoin within approximately I think 90 minutes, 100 minutes, that it's distributing those 100, divided by that 7 number of publications or whatever it is. The new algorithm will be dynamically adjusting. So it will instead be seeking a fixed number of, or a target number rather, of 4 pop publications per keystone. And so if it gets fewer than that, it'll be increasing the overall reward that it's paying out. If it gets more than that, it'll be decreasing. So it'll be this dynamic retargeting algorithm. And, at a high level, basically the way it would work is if there's 6 publications when it's targeting 4, then it would say, okay, we can probably pay out, approximately 50% less in the next round than we did in this round. Versus if you got 2 instead of 4, we probably need to double the payouts for the next round. It's going to be more smooth than that. So it's not just purely previous round to next round performance, but that kind of gives you a mental model for how it'll work. But that will be introduced pre-TGE, and then that will continue to be the payout algorithm post-TGE. So hopefully that made sense. There's a couple moving pieces there, but high level, the algorithm itself is going to change pre-TGE and will be applied to pop points going forward from that point. So any pop points you earned now will stay as the pop points you earned, but then new pop points post activating that final algorithm, those payouts will change once we change that algorithm. That will happen pre-TGE, and then once TGE happens, instead of that algorithm paying out pop points, it'll just pay out tokens directly.
All right, awesome. Before we move on to other news, I have one question, and it's one of those questions that I can't tell if they're serious or not because you've met these people. Will Max be introducing tariffs on the Hemi network?
Oh man, no. I
Thank
will say
God.
for the broader tariff discussion as it applies to crypto, and I'll preface this by saying I'm not an economist and I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I am a little surprised to see. In general, I'm surprised to see how much crypto moves with the overall financial markets, because if you really look at crypto's position in the global economy, it seems like it should be an opt out of global economic systems. And so if everyone's panicking out of US or European or Asian markets, crypto seems like a place that they would run to for safety versus cash, or kind of a cash alternative or gold alternative. So sort of surprised that that doesn't play out in general, but it's particularly with tariffs. It seems like crypto should be the place to go for, especially in the tariff side. And who knows how this will actually play out, but theoretically it should be weakening the US dollar for global trade in some sense, which would give the US a trade benefit. You actually, in some sense, with a weaker currency, you can buy more things from other countries, or your buying power, you're not paying a premium for your currency being artificially higher than the remote currency it's being converted into. And it would seem like in that case, with weakening dollar, if that is how the tariffs would end up, that should encourage a flight to crypto and gold. And I'm sort of a little surprised to not see that happening, but I am hopeful that maybe that trend will actually start with kind of more global panic, but who knows? We'll see. I won't comment on anything about the tariffs beyond. I'm surprised to see them not benefiting crypto a bit more, but it is the pattern we've seen with crypto kind of moving with the global markets, which I still think is a little bizarre.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that because I don't think I could without using a lot of profanity. So we'll just glaze over that one. So that is actually the end of serious questions for Midweek with Max. Would you like to give a little info regarding the engineering AMA that's coming up on the 10th?
Yeah, for sure. So Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern, we'll be doing an engineering AMA. And so that's going to be the what we call the protocol team at Hemi. So people like Marcos is on stage here, hopefully. We're still finalizing everyone's schedules, but Marco, Joshua, Clayton, if you guys remember him from the HVM tutorial series that he did quite a while ago, he'll be attending. We have some other people on the core engineering team, the protocol engineering team, who will hopefully be able to make it. JCV, who I'm not sure if he's been part of any of these. He might have been part of the Christmas AMA that catastrophically failed due to X. And then also a guy named Antonio. So that's going to be a engineering focused AMA. So if you have any questions, hey, there he is. Hey, JCV.
Oh,
part of the...
I was. That would have been great. Thanks, Twitter.
If only that would have worked. There were hundreds of people who attended that session, and the entire thing fell apart. Tech issues, as always. But yeah, so we're going to be doing the engineering AMA, like I said, Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you have any engineering questions, tech-focused questions, what we'll probably do is start with a segment just kind of talking about whatever we're working on, things about the Hemi project, the Hemi protocol that they're working on and are excited about. And then we'll use the last, probably 2/3 of it for answering any community questions, and just having a general fun engineering chat. So it should be basically my tech rants on steroids with 5 other people. So it should be great.
I'm going to bring nothing to the table in that, by the way. I mean, I'll like happy to, introduce you guys, but it's going to be me muted a lot. So just a heads up.
And the intern will not be making an appearance, unfortunately.
No, he's not. He's not even allowed to join the audience for that. Just a heads up on that front. So that actually brings us to the end of questions for this week's Midweek with Max. We will be doing our community update, and we have a lot of things to cover there. So I'm going to turn it back to Phil, Max, John, and team for any outros, and then we can start our community biz.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone, for coming to another Midweek with Max. We'll see you next week, and hopefully at the Engineering AMA in 2 days. And a lot of exciting stuff going on behind the scenes. We will be getting the testnet pop points up very soon, so stay tuned for that, and apologies on the delays. And with that, I will sign off.
And ditto. Got a lot of marketing material to review, so I'll take my leave of y'all. Have a good one.
Take care, gentlemen. Thank you.
Awesome.
Anyone else?
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, all right.
I'm actually hanging around for a couple more minutes, so no goodbyes yet.
All right, perfect. All right, Joshua, we're going to need you to unmute for this. I'm going to need your help on this. Okay, so welcome to the community section of the tail end of Midweek with Max. We don't have a name for this. It just happens every week now because you guys voted on it. Let's start with roles. So we have very good news on that front. We have late midweek with Rick. Well, I mean, with Rick and Josh and John, maybe. That seems excessive, but it's usually us 3. So we have some, what we think is pretty exciting news regarding the Hemithic/OG role and perks for the creative roles. So I'm just going to go through a couple things, and then Josh, please feel free to jump in with some timelines. I do want to say that, so for some of this stuff, we can announce it to you guys and tell you, but a lot of it, the timing is going to be TBA. So please keep that in mind, that some of this stuff is not going to be an overnight thing. So let's start with the Hemithic/OG role. Josh, is it accurate to say we're looking at next week to deploy this?
It should be mid to late next week, yes.
Okay. So mid to late next week, we're going to be putting out the Hemithic/OG role. We have taken a lot of feedback in regarding this, as well as other role incentives, both from the community, from our mod team, from the internal team, from everybody. We have done our absolute best to make this make sense. So because Hemithic represents OG, meaning the OGs of the OGs, you were here from the beginning, you knew our milestones, you've been here across the board since the beginning. So the criteria is you've joined the Hemi Discord before September 18th, 2024. You made at least 5 transactions on the Hemi Sepolia. We'll be making it so you can provide Hemi Sepolia Ethereum address to the Hemi Helper bot, sign a message using MetaMask or something similar to prove ownership, and then the bot can check the transactions. And you minted an only MeID Demos on Hemi Sepolia. So those are the criteria for this. Now with this, you'll be getting 2 big things. One is the role of Hemithic, which is basically asserts that you've been here since the beginning. You'll also be getting an exclusive NFT designed specifically for this role. Now, given the parameters are a little strict on this, we understand that. In the future, we'd like to do something more geared towards mainnet. We do not have any specifications regarding that yet, but we took a lot of things into consideration for this, and we wanted to make it so this is for the people who have really been here since the beginning. Now, don't get discouraged because we have other news. The other news is this. We are going to be adding perks / incentives for our creator-based roles. So Hemi content creator, based, and community creative are now going to have perks attached to them. So I can briefly go over this. And again, there's going to be some TBAs / TBDs associated with this. For the content creator and base roles, and anyone who has those roles now, this applies to you, and this is something that other people can work towards as well. You will receive, or you have, the content creator or base role. You'll receive an exclusive custom pixel art NFT limited to a mint of 500. The date on that is TBA. You'll receive a one-time bonus mainnet points of 1,500. You will also gain access to an exclusive creative channel in which you can collaborate, get feedback, have private communication with the Hemi team and moderators. And when a merch store launches, which hopefully is going to be very soon, there's going to be some kind of exclusive merch / discount associated with this. For Hemi Community Creative, this is the contest winners for the most part. And we will have other contests in the future. Don't stress that. It's not like the only 5 people are going to have this and that's it. You will receive, or you have, the role of community creative, a different custom pixel art NFT, also limited to a 500 mint, feature and acknowledgement on Hemi's official platforms for social, amplification of your work, a one-time bonus Discord XP of 5,000, and merch discounts up to 25% off store-wide on 2 different items. So we think it's pretty cool. And I want you guys to know that this was not like a light decision. We've been working on this for months. We took as much feedback from the community, from the mods, from everyone into consideration for this. We had a lot of things we had to balance regarding fairness and everything else. And like everything, you're not going to make everyone happy, but we want to make sure that people are rewarded from being here from the beginning. And we also want to make sure that the roles that really get the perks are the people making stuff for the future. So that's kind of my spiel. Josh or John, if you guys want to jump in regarding that, or not. Hold on, I think Josh is typing. Oh, there will be an application process soon. Okay, more detail. Yeah, and again, for all of this, there will be a formal announcement. There'll also be, there'll be a formal announcement and hopefully dates attached to it. We just don't have that info now, but we did want to say that it's coming. We've listened, and yeah, this is where we're at. Now, we had some questions regarding. I answered that one. We answered the tariff question. I can't believe we answered the tariff question. So the question is, when here? And for that, I would like to invite Alex to speak. Where the hell is he? There he is. So, Alex, feel free to answer when here, sir.
Hello. You hear me good? Well, it's okay?
You sound like $1 million.
Thank you for inviting me and giving me the floor. First, before speaking about Air Project, I want to say if we have another French member of community, tomorrow we have an appointment to debrief of this midweek with Max, only in French, with French. But if you want to make the same in your regional community, I mean, it's possible to contact your mod and I think that can be cool to create link between members of the same region.
Awesome.
Okay.
Can you answer when hair token?
When hair token, I hope soon. We note it's a TBD for taking Hemi official answer. But I hope soon. I hope before the Hemi TGE. We work on it. Actually, so I will explain what is a hair token for who just joined this meeting. So hair token is a meme coin starting about joke on the silky Max's hair. On the community, you all guys are taking this joke and making more meme and more meme until someone asks when air token, so we do it. So actually we have a Discord server you can join, and we currently building the project. We are a bit behind schedule, but I hope the token will be tradable. You can exchange the token maybe in 4 weeks. We work on it. Actually, we are looking for solutions to ensure the fairest possible launch for everyone. Token have been deployed, and all smart contracts are already ready. We just have to push on a button to launch it. But if you have skills in Web3, in graphic development, if you are a graphic designer, or if you have any other skill, come join our Discord server, and don't hesitate to get involved. And why not maybe take a responsibility in this project? I just want to say our next step in Air token. So the next is to deploy the token, open the first liquidity pool, and when that will be okay, we will start to work on the DAO to prepare the CTO, so the community takeover. Aircoin will be have been created to be the property of our community. So next step are deploy the contract, launch the liquidity pool. After this, working on the DAO, and that's it.
Oh, you're not out of the woods yet, buddy. We got questions coming in. Which chain is here launching on?
On Hemi, for sure. Only on Hemi for now.
Perfect. Do we have any other hair token questions while we have Alex? Right. Oh, Alpha, any roles for us, active community? Yeah, so all the creator roles are available for anyone. So I linked the criteria. You can, if you create content and you create memes, it's literally a nomination and voting process. We have members who have these roles already, and we plan on rolling out more. We have seen a lot of the same folks who already have the roles creating content, so I encourage new people to do the same. Don't hesitate to. Well, hold on. Let me put the brakes on that. I was going to say, don't hesitate to tag the mods if you make something cool, but maybe hesitate a little bit when you're tagging the mods there. Like if you make a couple cool things and no one's seeing anything, maybe tag like your favorite mod, but don't get spammy with it, please. That's not going to help anybody. How was that disclaimer, Alex? I felt like I had to pump the brakes.
No, I don't have many things to say. We want to make a big airdrop for all people are involved in the project. So it's not our priority for now, but you can start to involve in our project and make grow your allocation during this airdrop.
Awesome. So a little more community news. We are actually actively working on weekly activities. We don't have full details just yet, but what I can say is sooner than later, probably within the next couple weeks, to be perfectly honest, you're going to be seeing more than just contests. It's going to be weekly game nights and things of that variety. We are going to work on some kind of incentive/perk plan for this as well, and potentially a role assigned to it, or it might roll into something else. We don't have full details on that, but activities are coming, perks are coming with the activities. Karaoke sing-along. If you guys want a weekly karaoke night, I'm totally into that too. I mean, honestly, we could. I'm thinking out loud here. But if we did have like a weekly or monthly karaoke thing, and it was voted on by the community, the rap god role does exist. And while it doesn't have to be rap, it could count on that. You know? Hey, Josh, can you please see the chat real quick? There was a question how we arrived at this day, how we arrived for the date, and if there's flexibility for folks who missed it by a couple days. Is it?
I believe September 18th was the date that Hemi announced our funding. So
That's right.
Yeah, we could
That's right.
definitely make it like within 2 weeks of that date, I suppose.
Okay. If that's not huge heavy lifting, because I'm seeing some folks.
If we say by the end of September and count everyone before then as in, that could be doable.
Okay. So before we put out the formal announcement, we'll figure this out. And yeah, there'll be some flexibility on that. Like I said, we want to make sure this is for like the OGs of the OGs, but I mean within a week, that should be okay. If Josh is cool with it, I'm cool with it. So like I said, we're trying to make it as fair as possible, given all the criteria and input, and the internal factors we were dealing with. So the big thing right now for everyone is focus on the creator roles if you want to. The more content we have, the better. Our mods are actively nominating and voting on people who are creating stuff, and those roles have some pretty cool perks attached. I can't say too much about the pixel art NFTs attached to them, but they're really, really cool. Josh, do you want to talk a little about those?
What do you want to know?
I don't know. I mean, can we just say what they are? I mean, obviously not what they look like, but
they may or may not be pixel art of our mascots. So
okay, we can leave it there. we can. I see what you're doing, you coy bastard. We can leave it at that. Okay. I can say that the Hemithic role was designed by our intern. As far as the that NFT goes, it's already been submitted. We're just waiting on a timetable for it. It will probably be after the role is deployed. And we don't have a timetable on the creator NFTs as of yet, as they're actively being developed right now. And there will be a timetable assigned to that as well. But all of these things are happening. and will be happening. Sorry. Whoa. What am I getting tagged in? Let's see. Can I share the utilities or perks that come with the NFT? It's an NFT and it's exclusive. For instance, like the NFT that you would get for Hemithic, no one else is going to get that. The creator based and community creative ones are limited to 500 each. So there's even a limit on those. I can't speak further on that as I really can't explain much else. But yeah, I mean, there's a limit, much like it. Look at it like the Wendigo roll. Like that was a one-time thing that only some people have, and it's not coming back. The Hemithic roll is going to operate kind of the same way, where if you fit that criteria, you get that roll, but anyone else joining will never get that roll, nor will they get that NFT. I think that's the fairest way I can say that. Yeah, and they're purely cool NFTs to just kind of show off your like, I don't know, community status or coolness. Yes, sir.
Yeah, is it possible to take the habit of verify the account to Rap God for the Rap God role to obtain at the end of the midweek with Max in live? That can be a cool way to have it. No.
Are you saying that if anyone wants to volunteer to try to get the Rap God role right now, we should call them on stage?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What the hell? Okay, so if anyone... All right. Here, we're going to open the floodgates on this a little bit. If anyone wants to do karaoke right now, and you want to do a song, raise your hand.
Any volunteer?
And you'll get the Rap God role. We're just... All right, so the Rap God role originally was for the song Rap God, which Max declined doing. Only 3 people have it, but you know what the hell? We'll open it up to whatever song you want to do. If you're willing to perform karaoke at the end of the community session, you can have the role. Going once?
Nobody.
You can do it. Oh wow. Okay, and 5,000 XP apparently.
Yes, ID, go. We're waiting for you, man.
Josh, how about you? You want to?
It's not happening ever.
All right. Well, what the hell? I had to try. Yeah. Any song. Any song.
Any song in what language? In English or any language?
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. If it's not in English, I'm not going to know the song. But if it's a real song, by all means, do it.
Or the next week, maybe I will train me and I train myself. And after next week, I will sing you something. I promise.
Paymon, no one's going to quit the space if you start singing. Yeah, any language, any song, any language. LFG. $5,000 XP in the Rap God role. And it doesn't have to be rap. We're going to specify that. And I also want to go on record and reiterate what was said next week. No one will ever get a role for getting a Hemi tattoo. So I don't ever want to hear that again. However, you can get the Rap God role if you do karaoke, and you'll also get 5,000 Discord XP. And it doesn't have to be today. It can be at the end of any session. So you have a week to practice if no one's feeling froggy right now. No, not 2 lines. It has to be a song. Yeah, full song. Or yeah, I mean, or as much of a song as you can get through, but it's got to be more than two. It's got to be a couple verses and a chorus. All right. Well, no takers today, but let me see if we get anything else. All right, talked about games, talked about roles. There'll be formal announcements for roles, for perks associated with roles. Obviously, we'll have one for games when games and activities do start. Oh, hold on. Oh, we got someone. All right, bud. Take it away.
Hey guys, am I audible?
You
Can
sound
you guys?
terrific. Hear you
All
loud and
right,
clear.
so I'll be singing Baby Rexa, meant to be.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Baby, lay your back and relax. Get your pretty feet up on my dash. No need to go nowhere fast. Let's enjoy right here where we at. Who knows where this road is supposed to lead? We got nothing but time. As long as you're right here, yeah, with me, everything's gonna be alright. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be, baby, just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be, baby, just let it be. So why don't you ride with me, see where this thing goes. Yay, I'm done.
That was awesome.
Congrats.
You have been given the role in 5,000 XP, and also thank you for doing that. That was awesome. Hell yeah. All right, do we have any other volunteers? Or do you guys want to just practice for next week? I just want to say that that's only the fourth person out of 147,000 plus people who has the Rap God role. So if we're talking exclusive roles, that's kind of like the one now. Oh, Paymon, are you volunteering? Just request to speak if so. Oh boy, here we go. Biggs is going to punch me in the throat, by the way, for this.
What's up, guys?
What's up, bud? Welcome. Welcome to the stage. Hit it.
Ooh, let me check. Plus 2 or 4 lines, okay? Hello,
All right. Whenever you're ready.
can you hear me now?
Yep, hear you great.
Okay. I'm going to sing Perfect by Ed Sheeran. I found a love for me. Darling, just drive right in. Follow my lead. I found a love full and sweet. When never knew were the someone waiting for me. We are just kids and we fell in love, not knowing what is was. I will not give you up this time. Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes, you're holding mine, baby. I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass. listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, you heard it, darling, you were perfect tonight. Okay.
That was
Very good.
awesome. Very good. Very good. Your role and your XP has been applied. All
That was like
right.
the whole song. That was
incredible.
It was 2 minutes, man. My God, the bar has been set.
I know. This is incredible. Okay, so this is how we're ending the show every week from now on. I just want to throw that out there. It's awesome. Yeah, I don't care, Josh. Josh just messaged me and says Biggs is going to kill you. Yeah, whatever. He'll be fine. This you can't get more community building than this. Wait. What? Sorry. My wife has volunteered. Yeah, we'll allow it. Come on up. Just AB, if you want to, just request to speak and we'll call you up. Rock and roll, buckaroos. We got one more person for the rap god roll, and then we are going to call it after this. Let me. Paimon, you did awesome. You guys both did awesome. Like, literally. You guys killed it. And also, it's incredibly cool and, like, brave to just bust out in song at the end of an AMA. That's amazing. Seriously. Like I said, before that, the only people with this role were Alex, myself, and Foxstar. We were the only people who attempted it, so. NTG, you can find other role information under the Get Started channel, under the information category. But unfortunately, this role involves pinging, so. All right, AB, were you gonna you ready? You ready to bless the microphone? Otherwise, we're gonna wrap it up. All right. Let me see. How do I? Oh, invite to speak. There we go. Okay. Just accept that invitation, and the floor is yours.
Okay. Good evening.
Hi, welcome to
evening.
karaoke at Hemi. Good evening.
All right. Well, I don't know if a Christian song is accepted. Okay. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are the reason why you are the most high. You are the reason why we are singing Jehovah. You are the most high. Jehovah, you are the most high. Jehovah, you are the most high God. Can I stop now? Okay.
That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. You guys like totally set and raised the bar.
Nothing like some gospel, man. Gotta love it. Much appreciated.
Great. This is the best community event we've had so far. Okay, I think we should do this every week. Do you guys dig that? Should we just end things with karaoke every week for the rap god roll? I'll see. Oh, what the hell? I can't promise anything, but if this is going to be a thing, I'm going to try to add perks to this. John, do you hate that idea?
That's totally fine. Happy to consider some stuff. So let me know.
Thank
when
you,
Hemi boy band, I'm waiting for it.
I think we have to do it soon. Okay, we are losing Joshua, which means the show is officially over. But thank you all so much for getting that role, for performing, for sharing your talent with the entire Hemi community. You guys are all awesome. We'll have numerous announcements coming very shortly for you. Big things are coming. And yeah, that's all I got. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in Discord.
Thank you. See you next week. And it was really a fun moment. Thank you to all.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you on the engineering call, hopefully, on Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, love you guys. You're the best.